Live, the morning show from CBS Local 2.
Good morning. Today is February 7th. It's Thursday. I'm Tom Tucker. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Daniels. Let's begin with a quick look at the top stories making headlines this morning.
Unfortunately, when gas prices go up, we usually see an increase in gas thefts.
Local police are warning people to guard their gas tanks. They say thieves are now siphoning off fuel to fill up their own cars. Police in Rancho Cucamonga say they caught 2 people doing just that this past weekend.
Serious crimes often have devastating impacts on victims and their families, but there's often an overlooked side of crime, and that's the cost of solving them. Local police agencies are spending a lot of money in tracking down and arresting criminals, especially in cases like sexual assault and murder. This morning, we'll take an in-depth look at the cost of these investigations.
And thousands of bicyclists will roll into the desert this weekend for the Tour de Palm Springs. Cyclists can take rides around the valley ranging from 1 to 100 miles. The annual event benefits dozens of charities, but definitely creates a traffic nightmare on valley roads. Find out the areas you'll want to avoid coming up in a live report.
All right, calm right now in our neck of the woods weather-wise, but across the country, Carlene, maybe not entirely the case.
We're taking a look at what you can expect outside in our valley as well as throughout the nation. Some cold temperatures to start off this morning in Boston. They are expecting to get a lot of snow over the next couple of days, and 19 degrees is the current temperature, so below that freezing mark. 27 in New York, and making your way towards the west, Billings, Montana at 28. Now along the west coast, feeling those 40s, so 44 degrees in Seattle, 48 in Palm Springs right now. As we go into today, we have some cloud cover. For the most part, we'll actually continue to see the sunshine for today, and also most of that cloud cover just to the west of us and also down towards the Salton Sea. But even more will creep in for today because we do have a cold front that's going to move in. So most of that precipitation and also cloud cover is just to the north of us, but that's going to sweep down as we go into tonight, into tomorrow, with a chance of mountain snow and valley showers. More details are coming up.
All right, thanks, Carlene. A gunman remains on the loose this morning after a shooting in Desert Hot Springs. Police say it happened yesterday afternoon on Cuyamaca Drive, just off Hacienda. Officers say they found a man who had been shot somewhere in his lower body. He was taken to Desert Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not yet released any information on a possible suspect. You're asked to contact Valley Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen if you know anything about the shooting. Tipsters can remain anonymous and could be eligible for a cash reward.
A man is behind bars this morning facing charges for breaking into the Louis Vuitton store on El Paseo. Sheriff's deputies say they arrested 30-year-old Julian Hanna of Laverne last Friday, a couple hours after the burglary. Investigators say they found him driving the car he used to crash through the store's front. Turns out the car had been stolen out of Buena Park. Hanna was booked into the county jail in Indio. Deputies say they're still searching for the second person involved in the break-in.
Palm Springs Mayor Steve Pugnier will give an update on what's happening around town during his annual State of the City address today. He will speak around 12:15 this afternoon at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon at the Hilton Hotel. Now, you need tickets for the lunch. However, everyone is invited to come and listen to the address. After the luncheon, city officials will head over to the Desert Fashion Plaza for the beginning of the demolition of the building there. Now, this marks the second phase of the city's downtown revitalization plan.
This 14 acres is just, in my view, is going to electrify downtown. And it's not a retail mall. I want people to know that. It's an entertainment and arts area.
Now, the city will also put on a free block party beginning at 1:30 this afternoon, and that's happening next to the Forever Maryland statue at the corner of Tockwitz and Palm Canyon.
The nation is now just 3 weeks away from what could be yet another fiscal crisis created by Washington lawmakers. Automatic budget cuts totaling more than $1 trillion will kick in at the end of the month unless Congress acts fast. The Defense Department would see its funding slashed. Outgoing Defense Secretary Leon Panetta says lawmakers' inability to find a way to avoid the cuts has endangered America's security.
These steps would seriously damage a fragile American economy, and they would degrade our ability to respond to crisis precisely at a time of rising instability across the globe.
Panetta also says the budget cuts could result in up to 8 million Defense Department workers seeing furloughs or losing their jobs altogether.
Certainly a very difficult situation. It's going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out from one crisis to the next. All right, hundreds of jobs will soon be up for grabs here in the Valley. Coming up this morning, details on a hiring blitz by Home Depot and how the company plans on trying to help out military veterans.
Plus,
I think it's exciting. You know, something that brings energy, brings more life, brings a lot of people out, and it can only help all the local vendors and get more people out here.
Find out what has some local business owners so excited.
And next, how this driver ended up high and dry until firefighters came to his rescue.
Well, welcome back. Hitting the gas instead of the brake can land you into a very bad spot. That's what police in Vista say happened to the 75-year-old driver you see stuck here.
Yeah, the man was apparently trying to get a parking voucher when he hit the wrong pedal, sending him through a guardrail and into this medical building. The driver was left sitting in his car over a staircase until rescuers could safely get him out.
Oh my. Well, the man was taken to the hospital and later released. Police say his daughter picked him up to give him a break from driving.
Probably a good idea. All right, Hotel Zozo in downtown Palm Springs is about to undergo a major renovation. CBS Local 2 has learned it will be transformed into a Hard Rock hotel under a new franchise agreement.
Now, the announcement comes 7 years after Hard Rock first began pursuing plans to build a new hotel here in the desert. But the plans were put on hold after the financial crisis hit. The company says the hotel will reopen under its new name this fall.
Now, some local business owners say they're excited about the added foot traffic they expect it will bring to the area. There's no word on exactly how many new jobs the new Hard Rock hotel will bring.
People looking for a job right now may want to check out Home Depot. The company says it plans to hire more than 750 local workers this spring. The seasonal jobs are meant to help stores keep up with the hustle and bustle of the spring building season. The hardware company says more than half of their temporary hires last year eventually received full-time positions. Home Depot also wants to help veterans returning home with its new online military skills translator.
It's actually a new program that it was just launched online. So if you go to careershomedepot.com/military, you can find all the details right there. It's very simple. We'll just translate the skills that you were using in the military and translate it into something that can be used at the Home Depot.
Now, if you are interested in applying for a job, just log on to the website on your screen. That's careers.homedepot.com.
I always thought it'd be fun to wear one of those orange aprons, you know.
Oh, you're coming close today. You got an orange tie.
Might match, huh? All right, you might want to double check the gas gauge in your car this morning.
Coming up, the extreme measures some thieves are taking to steal the gas right out from your car as prices at the pump skyrocket.
Not too much in the form of cloud cover right now, but that will change as we go into tonight, into your weekend forecast. So mostly clear skies for today, but something is brewing. So more details are coming up after the break. You're watching the CBS Local 2 Morning Show.
Well, Carlene, will it soon be time once again to batten down the hatches, maybe get out the umbrellas, the galoshes, the snow gear, all that stuff?
Yeah, well, if you go up to higher elevations, yes. Along the valley floor, we do have a chance of some showers, not heavy rain like we had the storm system that moved through recently, but we will get a few sprinkles here and there, but most of the activity will be in the mountains as well as those winds really picking up. So that is for tonight. Current temperature right now, 44 degrees and 29 Palms, also in Thermal. Palm Springs in the 40s, 40s being felt throughout most of the desert, as well as some calm winds, so no winds existing at the moment. Blythe at 6. High pressure to the east, sinking air is bringing in some heat for today, so still in the 70s, the calm before the storm. Cold front moving through, area of low pressure. We have a lot going on as we get into tonight all the way into your weekend. So precipitation moving in as we go into Friday morning, that will continue to push through. So we do have a plummeting snow level high desert snow is in the works with this system moving through. Winter weather advisory that's in effect, about 3 to 7 inches, or inches now be about 6,000 feet, 2 inches near 3,000 feet, snow level 5,000 all the way down to 25, and that will be from tonight all the way into your Saturday. Now this is for the mountain areas as well as for the valleys in that area as well. So for San Bernardino, also Riverside and San Diego County. Now we do have a wind advisory that's in effect 8 p.m. tonight all the way until 10 p.m. tomorrow. Winds shifting about 15 to 30 miles per hour. Gusts will be in the 50s. Let's take a look at what you can expect with the wind conditions picking up. So 20s right below the Banning Pass, hitting the teens in the high desert. That will continue for your Friday morning all the way into the afternoon, really picking up with the 20s being felt throughout most of the desert. And then we'll have those winds starting to calm down as we get into your Saturday. Taking a look at highs for today, 2 p.m., 75 degrees in Palm Springs, 76 in Cathedral City, 72 in Desert Hot Springs. 78 degrees will be the high in Indio for today. Taking a look at your 7-day planning forecast, your weekend is always in view. So 70s for today, we hit the low 60s as we go into tomorrow. 50% chance we could see some shower activity. Most of the activity will be in the mountains, mostly sunny into your weekend with cool temperatures.
All right, thanks, Carlene. Gas prices continue climbing in Riverside County. The average up another 3 cents overnight to $4.05 a gallon.
The recent spike in cost has local police urging drivers to keep their tanks locked and eyes peeled for gas thieves. Police in Rancho Cucamonga say they caught 2 people this past weekend siphoning off fuel after drilling holes into cars' gas tanks.
That's an extreme. I've never recall seeing that, definitely around here, but I guess it is possible. You know, as locking gas caps become more common, maybe the reaction to that is more extreme, which would be drilling holes in the gas tanks.
All right, thanks to Captain Vest for that input. Now, police recommend drivers looking to buying locking caps for their gas tanks. They also warn thieves that if caught, they could face theft and felony vandalism charges.
Wow. Well, let's take a look now at, they call this the lowest gas price, but it's what we found here in the desert. $3.70 at the Sam's Club or the Costco at Monterey and Dinah Shore in Palm Desert. Now, you have to be a member, though, of Costco or Sam's in order to get that gas. And you can always find the lowest gas price information around the valley on our trusted website. Just log on to cbslocal2.com and click on the ever-popular gas tracker. Well, it's signing day for high school athletes around the country.
Coming up next in sports, a couple of star players from the Palm Springs high school football team announce where they'll play at the college level.
Plus, practice makes perfect, and brain surgery is no exception. See how surgeons in training are using a new high-tech tool to learn the ropes.
And later this morning, putting a price tag on solving crimes. What it costs to track down and arrest wanted Valley criminals.
Hits home in the Coachella Valley. Yesterday at Palm Springs High School, a pair of teammates inking on the dotted line to play college football at major Division I programs. Rodney Butler and Michael Greer. Here's looking at you fellas. And the best part, they're cousins. Hey, it's all about family, right? With that, I welcome you to our extended signing day coverage on this Thursday morning. Over the past decade, National Signing Day has become a nationwide phenomenon as the country's top prep athletes officially declare where they will take their talents. For Michael Greer, a standout linebacker and receiver at Palm Springs High School, Corvallis, Oregon, home to the Oregon State Beavers, is where he will continue that football career. Michael, one of the Indians' top playmakers on offense and defense over the past 2 seasons, recruited primarily for his defensive skills. And he has ties to the team. He's very close with former Palm Desert star and current Oregon State linebacker DJ Alexander. Greer, standing at 6'2" and just under 200 pounds, remains confident and ready to make an impact from day one. He's already hunting for roses inside of a prestigious Pac-12 program. Now that you're wearing the orange, how does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. You know, I bleed orange and black, so hey, let's go and get a Rose Bowl. It made me feel like home. Coach Bray, he brought me in and made me feel real comfortable. And knowing that I could come in and compete for someone's spot makes me feel real great, too.
Now, we wish Michael the best of luck as he heads up into the Pacific Northwest. His cousin, buddy, teammate, Rodney Butler, knew very early in discussions with New Mexico State that he wanted to join the Aggies in Las Cruces. Butler, a 3.5 student, all Desert Valley League first-teamer, and in many ways, the heart of that Palm Springs defense. He'll now take his all-business work ethic to the next level and most likely play the same linebacker position he excelled with in high school. Butler helped the Indians to a CIF championship game appearance in 2011 and got a very young team back in the playoffs his senior year. Now it's time to help his new squad regain some football prominence. They recruited him heavily, and it paid off.
Just fundamentals, everything, just the intensity, what to bring to the field. I just want to take that to where I'm going, the next level, and just carry on, maybe increase it. They came at me just aggressively. I just liked it. The way they came at me, just 100% honesty, it just drew me to them.
Well done, fellas. A Desert Valley League basketball title on the line last night in La Quinta. Hey, game of the year in prep girls hoops thus far. Indio visiting La Quinta, where the Blackhawks had a chance to lock up their first DVL title since 2003 and on their home floor. Indio needing a win to keep their own championship hopes alive. Incredible finish. Look, Donald Trump in the building. Well, kind of. Under 6 minutes to play, La Quinta up 2, but Indio's Jasmine Santil with a great block. Ball ends up in the hands of Terry Arnold, and she promptly goes off glass. Game tied at 33. Next Indio possession. Sarai Reyes, quick first step, runner, and the friendly roll. Indio now leading 35-33. Under 3 minutes to play, Indio up 3. Look at La Quinta's Amber Godfrey. Nice pass to a wide open Kelly Finan. Blackhawks down 40-39. Under a minute to go, Indio up 4. La Quinta needs a hoop. They got it from Kendall Scott. Blackhawks down 2, forced to foul. They put Reyes on the line. She made the first. Missed the second. So La Quinta with a chance to tie if they make the 3. And Scott gets a pretty good look. No good. The Rajas avenge an earlier loss to La Quinta 48-45. India now in prime position for at least a share of another league title.
Oh, my girls, hey, they just fought. And I told them if you come out and compete and we play hard, then, you know, good things will happen. And, you know, we were down sometimes, some things happened, but they fought. In the end, it was enough.
We do work, but we work in practice, and, you know, we just come out and show it on the court. And, you know, we did.
We knew that for us to know that we have the title, we have to come here and do it ourselves. We couldn't put our destiny in somebody else's hands.
Indio now 10-1. They've won 6 straight, hoping for 7 against Coachella on Friday. La Quinta tied for first. They'll host Palm Desert this Friday. All 4 teams you see on the screen will make the CIF playoffs. My time is up. Have a great day. We'll see you back here on CBS Local 2 tonight.
Good morning. Here's your Desert Deal of the Day. Today it is half off a 45-minute life and career coaching session with life coach Trent Blanchard. It's a $120 value today, all yours for $60.
All right, to get a little encouragement, go to DesertRealDeals.com, buy the coupon, print it out, and take it with you.
Future brain surgeons are getting hands-on training without ever putting any patients at risk.
This new high-tech simulator allows medical students to hone their skills using 3D software and handheld controls. The device measures everything from speed and accuracy, even blood loss.
The machine actually simulates the sounds, the feelings, the actual tactile feedback that you would get if you're actually standing there in the OR.
I think it has enormous potential to improve and potentially revolutionize the way we train and prepare for surgeries.
Doctors also hope to one day be able to import scans of patients' brains into the simulator so they can practice before an actual operation.
Cool that they're getting some practice. All right, serious crimes certainly take a toll on the victims, but what about the cost of solving these crimes?
Up next, an inside look at how much Valley police agencies spend to put the bad guys behind bars. It is half past the hour on this Thursday. I'm Jennifer Daniels.
And I'm Tom Tucker. Great to have you with us. We begin with some breaking news this morning here in Riverside County. A massive manhunt is now underway for a former LA police officer. Christopher Jordan Dorner is wanted for what investigators are calling a revenge-fueled double killing and for shooting at police officers.
Now, here's what we know so far. 3 police officers were shot this morning, 1 in Corona and the other 2 in Riverside. You're looking at a picture of of the alleged assailant right now, who is, this is furnished to us from CBS Los Angeles. One of those Riverside officers is dead. Another is undergoing surgery. The third officer has minor injuries.
Now, Dorner is already wanted in the shooting death of a college basketball coach and her fiance in Irvine over the weekend. Now, the female coach was the daughter of a former police captain who had represented Dorner at a legal hearing that resulted in Dorner's termination from the Los Angeles Police Department.
Stay with us for the latest developments on this breaking news. Again, a former police officer is suspected of shooting 3 other officers here in Riverside County, and that gunman is still on the loose. Well, time now for us to check in with Carlene. And Carlene, there's a lot brewing as far as the East Coast, big snowstorm coming their way, but nothing of the sort here, but we are expecting a little change.
We definitely are expecting a little change as we get into today. Now for today, we're actually just talking about the sunshine, so the calm and warmth before the storm. Not too much in the form of cloud cover right now, but as we go into today, keep in mind that it's nice until we get into tomorrow. We'll see those clouds really start to move in, so plenty of sunshine, and then those temperatures will drop. Dense fog advisory was just issued all the way until 9 a.m. this morning. That's for the Inland Empire. Now as we get into the next couple days, we are talking about getting out of those 70s, so 75 degrees will be the high for today. Palm Springs above normal with your daytime highs, a few stray clouds here and there, and light winds. Right now, no winds along the valley floor, but things are definitely changing as we have a storm system that's going to move through tonight and stick around for your weekend forecast. So all those details are coming up.
Violent crimes like murder and sexual assault certainly take a devastating and unimaginable toll on victims and their families.
But there's often an overlooked side of crimes like this, and that's the cost of solving these cases. This morning, I have an inside look at how your tax dollars are spent in the efforts of bringing criminals to justice. The case involved 45-year-old Jeffrey Thomas Sackman of Cathedral City. Accused of sexually assaulting 4 teenage girls over several years, Sackman pleaded guilty to 9 felony counts, and he's now serving 18 years behind bars.
He's a predator that preyed on young girls. You know, he lured them in under false pretenses. He drugged them. He sexually assaulted them.
Investigating the Sackman case and eventually arresting him became complex and time-consuming for the Cathedral City Police Department, the lead agency working the case. For the department, the investigation involved 10 people, crossed state lines, and included 4 victims. Reams of data from 2 social networks had to be reviewed, and one of the assaults dated back to 2002. Cathedral City Police Captain Chuck Robinson says based on labor costs alone, investigating the Sackman case cost the city about $40,000.
Conservative estimate on this case, in particular from start to finish, from the first call that we took in our dispatch center to the point where the suspect in this case pled out to his crimes, was about 600 man-hours.
Because Sackman pleaded guilty to the most serious charges against him, Robinson says DNA testing was not required in the case. But when testing is required, it can add considerably to the cost of solving a crime. For most Valley Police Departments, the cost of a standard DNA test on a single sample is about $2,000. To rush the testing, the cost almost doubles. And in cases involving multiple DNA samples, testing costs can quickly soar. In fact, at the county level, the Sheriff's Department spends close to $1 million a year on DNA testing.
We're seeing DNA being used more and more often these days. The technology has advanced, obviously, over the last several decades.
The biggest cost component of investigating a crime by far is labor. That's the total number of hours spent by officers, investigators, and staffers working a case. On average, labor makes up about 90% of the total cost of an investigation. Other costs could include a whole range of things like travel, additional training, cars and special equipment, or even hiring outside specialists. It all depends on the crime. And because every crime is different, putting a price on solving one can only be determined once an investigation is finished.
There is no boilerplate rule of thumb for conducting an investigation and solving a crime.
The types of crimes that are most expensive to solve are cases involving sexual abuse or assault, and murders.
We devote significant resources to homicide investigations. Usually there are numerous detectives that work those cases. We have forensic personnel that come out and process those scenes. We have evidence technicians that account for the evidence, patrol officers that are out on those scenes.
How about the cost of solving other crimes from around the valley? Investigating the murder of Palm Springs retiree Clifford Lambert cost the Palm Springs Police Department more than $80,000. The Indio Police Department spent nearly $40,000 arresting the man who raped a woman at the 2011 Stagecoach Country Music Festival. And finally, the Palm Desert Police Department spent $5,000 arresting the man who pleaded guilty to embezzling more than $130,000 from a Marine Scholarship Fund. While investigators keep their eye on the bottom line, ultimately it's about justice, especially when it comes to violent crimes.
I don't honestly believe there is a cost that is too much to investigate those, as long as we can find somebody and get them off the street and to prevent that type of thing from happening again.
Tom, that's fascinating. I think it raises so many more questions, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, the city of Cathedral City, $1 for each person for that investigation. But where do the cities come up with the funds to pay all of this? How do they budget for it?
Well, like I said, 90% of the cost of an investigation is manpower, so that's all part of the annual budget. That a police agency will operate under, so that's where all the money comes from. So certainly an interesting
it really is,
look at
especially
this.
when you talk about DNA, because when people hear about a crime, they automatically just say, do a DNA test. We take a lot of that for granted.
Yes, we do, and generally investigators and prosecutors will take kind of a judicious approach when it comes to ordering these tests because they're aware of the costs. So
and why
there's
are
kind
they
of
so expensive, the tests themselves?
It's just the technology, that's just the way it is today, unfortunately.
$2,000. That's amazing.
Pretty significant.
Wow. Well, thank you. Great report.
Thank you. All right, we'll have the latest breaking news here in Riverside County coming up. As we mentioned, a former LA police officer accused of shooting 3 other police officers.
And next, thousands of bicyclists will hit Valley roads this weekend for the annual Tour to Palm Springs.
Tom, Jen, 1 or 100 miles, you need to start with good nutrition. We'll have coming up what you need to drink, what you need to eat before hitting the roads, and also for the drivers out there, the road closures. You're watching the CBS Local 2 Morning Show.
All right, the thousands of bicyclists will take over the desert this weekend for the 15th annual Tour to Palm Springs.
CBS Local 2 Samantha Cortese is in downtown Palm Springs with a preview of the big event and some traffic warnings you'll want to know about. Now, Sam, you got your bike all geared up?
Oh, you know it. I had the shirt on for the tees, but I took it off. One thing that riders need to know about is their nutrition. We'll start there this morning. I'm with Missy from Fresh and Easy. Missy, tell me a couple of the things that we have here on the table that you suggest the nutrition-wise, what we should be preparing for before hitting the street.
Okay, for a ride like this, you're going to want complex carbohydrates and some protein. Bananas are great for potassium, and always you're going to need water and maybe Gatorade or Reactive, which is a Fresh and Easy brand. Something that really just keeps you going, some sugars.
So proteins, something healthy, something that will keep the energy up throughout the ride.
Yeah, if it's not a granola bar or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are great, or Cliff Bars are excellent as well. Nuts are a great thing for high protein. Put it in your pocket and you can eat it on the run.
And one person who will be eating a lot because he is doing the 100-mile ride is Victor. Tell us what cyclists should know before hitting the streets. Is it mental? Is it physical? A combination of both?
I think it's going to be a combination of both. I think it takes a lot, depending on what kind of mileage and what ride you're doing. I think you just need to mentally prepare by having the right equipment, having the right food with you, the proper nutrition, and making sure you know your route and be safe and courteous to other people.
And as far as right equipment, you're with Try a Bike, and you will be out there helping people have their bike, make sure they're prepared, their bikes are ready to go, no matter 1 or 100 miles.
Absolutely.
Great, yes. Thank you. And one of the great things about Tour de Palm Springs, it's a staple here in the Coachella Valley. More than 140 charities will be benefiting from this event. I'm here with Cathedral City High School's ROTC and Lieutenant Colonel Flynn. You've been with this program for 2 years, Cathedral City High School for Cathedral City High School for 12 years. Lastly, tell me why this is so important for the Coachella Valley.
Well, it's an excellent opportunity for a group like ourselves and other organizations throughout the community to do some service here for the riders that are in the race, and also to benefit the different organizations that benefit from the funds, which all stay here in the Coachella Valley. So it's and we use our funds for things that we can go on field trips, curriculum in action, they call it.
Great. And we want to get to the road closures for drivers. You need to know that North Palm Canyon between Tahquitz and Alejo will be closed. There's a vendor expo tomorrow. That's on Friday. It will be closed for that amount of time as well. And one lane on Indian Canyon between Tahquitz and Amato will be closed on Saturday morning only. So drivers, please be courteous. Like I said, more than 10,000 cyclists will be taking part in this huge event going on Saturday morning, benefiting more than 140 charities right here in the Coachella Valley. In Palm Springs, Samantha Cortese, CBS Local 2.
All right, thanks, Sam. We appreciate it.
Carlene, what can they expect, those riders, on Saturday?
On Saturday, they can expect things to start to clear out. So we do have warm weather for today, windy pickup, and then snow showers for tomorrow. So we'll take a look at what you can expect and also get you into the weekend after the break. You're watching the CBS Local 2 Morning Show.
All right, Carlene, some
sleeping
fog,
on the job here.
Some fog in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, let's take a look at what you can expect outside. We have a dense fog advisory in effect until 9 a.m. this morning, and that's for the Inland Empire. Area of low pressure, cold front that's moving through. That will actually interrupt our heat, so 75 degrees for today. By tomorrow, we're talking about much colder temperatures. Now, we do have a winter weather advisory in effect, and that's with 3 to 7 inches above 6,000 feet. 2 inches near 3,000, and the snow level for the mountains will be about 5,000 feet tonight, all the way into your Saturday, about 2,000. So as we go into the next couple days, we're also talking about a wind advisory in effect tonight, all the way until 10 p.m. for Friday. That's with winds shifting about 15 to 30 miles per hour, and below the Banning Pass, we're talking about gusts about 50 miles per hour. So the teens will be in effect for your wind speeds for tomorrow, 9 a.m., 20s right below the Banning Pass, 20s more widespread as we get into the afternoon for your Friday. Taking a look at what you can expect for your daytime high, 75 degrees in Palm Springs today, 2 p.m., 76 in Cathedral City. Now we will have some temperatures still in the 70s for today before we get into colder ones in the days ahead. Taking a look at your 7-day planning forecast, 60s into the weekend.
Cost-cutting move. The struggling U.S. Postal Service plans to cut Saturday mail delivery.
Coming up this morning, see how the move is actually good for the bottom line of one entertainment giant.
Winning a Grammy is the pinnacle of a musician's career. Tonight at 11, CBS Local 2's Megan Terlecki reveals the secrets behind how each Grammy is crafted.
We've never made a perfect one.
And does this man have an incredible tale to tell? How he became the Grammy Man. Tonight at 11.
Asian markets retreated from yesterday's highs this morning. Tokyo's Nikkei dropped 1%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng lost 0.5%. On Wall Street, fourth quarter earnings and reports did not impress investors. The Dow gained just over 7 points to close at 13,986. The Nasdaq dropped 3 points. A third bank has been hit with a huge fine for manipulating global interest rates. The Royal Bank of Scotland has agreed to pay $610 million, and the bankers will pay it back because the Royal Bank was bailed out by British taxpayers in 2008. This is the third international bank to be fined in the so-called LIBOR scandal. The NTSB will update the investigation into the battery fire on a Japan Airlines Dreamliner today. Chairman Deborah Hersman says the board is still weeks away from determining the cause. The Dreamliner fleet is still grounded, but the FAA gave Boeing permission to relocate a single plane today from Texas to Washington State. And the loss of Saturday mail could be a gain for Netflix. Experts say the Postal Service's new plan to deliver mail only 5 days a week beginning in August could save Netflix as much as $100 million next year on postal fees. That's because subscribers may be able to watch fewer DVDs for the same monthly price. Investors liked the news, boosting shares of Netflix up about 6%. That's your Money Watch. For more, stay with CBSMoneyWatch.com. In New York, I'm Ashley Morrison.
All right, let's look at today's Desert Deal of the Day. How about half off a 45-minute life and career coaching session with life coach Trent Blanchard? Normally $120, you can get a little help for $60.
Get this deal. Go to desertrealdeals.com, buy the coupon, print it out, and take it with you.
We are staying on top of some breaking news this morning here in Riverside County.
A former Los Angeles police officer accused of shooting 3 other police officers.
Coming up this morning, the latest on a massive manhunt now underway to find the gunman on the run. All right, we're staying on top of breaking news here in Riverside County. A massive manhunt is underway for a former Los Angeles police officer. Christopher Jordan Dorner is wanted for what investigators are calling a revenge-fueled double killing and for shooting at police officers.
Now, here's what we know currently. 3 police officers were shot this morning, 1 in Corona and the other 2 in Riverside. Now, one of those Riverside officers is dead. Another is undergoing surgery, and the 3rd officer has minor injuries.
Now, Dorner is already wanted in the shooting death of a female college basketball coach and her fiance in Irvine over the weekend. Now, the coach that was killed was the daughter of a former police captain who had represented Dorner at a hearing that resulted in Dorner's termination from the Los Angeles Police Department.
Again, a former cop is suspected of shooting 3 police officers here in Riverside County, and we were just looking at the searches that was underway in Riverside. That gunman is still on the loose.
Yeah, certainly frightening, horrific situation, you know, involving police officers. As I've told you, my brother is a police officer who lives in Corona, works for the Garden Grove Police Department. I have a feeling he could be involved here with this this morning in this search.
Extremely frightening when you figure it's a trained professional.
Yes, indeed. And hopefully, if this turns out to be the guy, they catch him soon.
Stay with CBS Local 2 for the latest on this developing story. More news after this.